Hey guys, how's it going? Today I wanted to speak about the subject of what concept would change humanity the most. Well, if you really look at the news and all that stuff, well, what is the concept that they're talking about all the time? Well, it's climate change, and we see a lot of wars and all that stuff. So I think that the obvious thing that humanity needs is a collaboration and less greed, which basically is the reason why we have all this pollution and all these kind of bad things that are happening because of wars and stuff like that with petrol, oil, and all that stuff. So basically, I think what we need to move on to is, as a society, at a place of wanting greed, wanting more money, wanting more for oneself, which is kind of silly, because at the same time what you think of is that basically the rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer. Well, if the rich are already rich, well, why do they need even more richness without sharing? Because there's already so much to give. We already waste so much food. We already have so many empty houses, so many people that are unemployed who would also be willing to work and do things. So we have to create jobs within our countries. We have to create more giving. We have to create less violence. We have to create more peace, and we have to be also more aware of our own planet, obviously with this climate change talk, which, I mean, there's definitely a lot of climate changes and things that are bad happening, but at the same time we also need to understand that we live in a world, we live on a living planet which has had changes, be it ice ages and also warm periods, very warm periods, and it is going to also fluctuate just generally that way, because deserts used to be the sea. They used to be filled with water, and now they're deserts and stuff like that, and that was even before all this pollution and stuff like that. So that's where you have to think about it. What we do need to do is definitely, with the whole climate changes, to be more aware of things, because we have technology nowadays to change that stuff. And when we first invented a lot of these things, we didn't know all the repercussions that they would have, because it does take time. And I think there's a lot of things that are even happening nowadays with foods and stuff like that, which we don't have enough data on to actually really be able to say exactly how it's going to affect our health, our world, and stuff like that. But we know that we need bees in this world because they pollinate and stuff like that. We know that we need less gases that are thrown into the atmosphere. We need more peace. We need more, just in general, less greed and more sharing. And we need just a general way of doing things, because some people, they will say, okay, well, there has to be something better to this world. There has to be something more to this earth than just what we have. And they seek, heaven, hell, all that stuff. But if you really think of it, well, we have such a beautiful planet already. It's so beautiful. It's filled with so much beauty. Of course, there's a lot of ugliness too. But what you need to think about that is that basically, well, we need to be able to create that heaven on earth, not look for heaven or a better place within death, because we don't really know anything that's going to happen to us in that way. We can't really foretell. Nobody knows what happens when you die. So why not treat this earth, why not treat this planet as heaven in itself, and treat it the best that we can, so that we can overcome all these things, be it pollution, be it wars. And just at the place of having all these different governments and things, in some way we need to realize that each state, each planet, each continent, each country is not so different. Kind of like how we want equality for people of all races and colors and ages and genders and stuff like that. We need to have equality within all people of the world, because no matter what we do, no matter what you say, we are actually living in the same world. So at the place of treating a state, a country, a nation, any place of this world as a separate entity, we need to start thinking of it as one. Think of it as a unity, and have a universal speech where all these governments are actually really collaborating with each other, not for them to have more money, not for them to get richer on the poor, but for the power to be given to everyone. But of course that's hard on them because people who have power fought to get to that power, and if they give back the power to the population, well, they won't have as much power, so they lose that, and that's something that they don't want. So that's all I have to say on the subject. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.